I'm not Matt Wilkins, and I'm going through the entire, though not entire, only selected stuff that I can afford EU material as best I know how. Because I'm not Matt Wilkins, and he's able to apparently go through literally everything, every comic, every nook and cranny, every little short story, even little stories that come from like journals and stuff, like magazines. He has it all. By the way, you should go check out Matt Wilkins, because out of all these EU reviews that you can find, there's Darksnovia, and the quality. I like his intros. That's why I stole one of them. I didn't steal it. I gave him credit. I mean, I don't even know if he came up with it. He might have stole it from someone else. I don't know. Anyway, point being, go check out Matt Wilkins. He's cool. I believe he's right now about to get to the Thrawn trilogy, and he won't spoil too much. So I'm looking forward to those reviews, because I haven't read those, because I'm reading them in chronological order. Like, I have Choices of One and Allegiance, which have Mara Jade, and I know who Mara Jade is because I know about the EU, but I don't know specific things that happen. So I know that those books kind of center around her, and those take place before she meets Luke or anything, because it's literally 0 ABY, which, if you don't know how that works, this has nothing to do with the review. But if you don't know how that works, you have BBY and ABY. BBY is before the Battle of Yavin, which is in episode 4 when Luke destroys the Death Star, or the first one. And then ABY is after the Battle of Yavin. Everything is that after. Allegiance and Choices of One either happen right as that's happening, no, it happens right after, so it's 0. Anyway, but I'm gonna go check them out. I kind of look like crap. I haven't shaved yet. It's gonna happen tomorrow. It's cold, so I'm wearing a blanket, sort of helping. I have more blankets, but since it's not nighttime, I'm not using them yet. But anyway, before we get on to the next book, which is Kenobi, today we have the novelization of Revenge of the Sith. Now, I don't have too much to say on this one, because it's a retread of the movie. What you saw in the movie, you're going to see here, except that the movie is better in some parts and lesser in others. There's the Darth Plagueis scene where, Sidious talks about Darth Plagueis. I honestly preferred the conversation in the movie over the book. A thing that they excluded from the movie because they thought it'd be too boring or make the movie too long was the diplomats coming together and kind of forming what would later become the seed that would start the new rebellion against the Empire. And so they have a lot of that in here, because that was in the original screenplay of George Lucas, and then they cut that out of the movie. So that's there. So it's a little bit extra stuff. What I really appreciate, which is the same thing with the Labyrinth of Evil, is that we get more thinking from, because it's a book, so you can do that. You get more of the thoughts of Obi-Wan and Anakin, and you get to see more of that, more of how they feel about each other and the true kinship that they had. You get to see more Emperor Palpatine being Palpatine, though it's going to be lesser because it's not the third movie where we get Ian McDiarmid doing it. Because he is the best part of that movie, and, I don't know, there's something about him. He's referred to as a shadow, which I thought was cool. When he fights Mace Windu and the 3 other Jedi, and Kit Fisto, I don't remember the other 2. But one of them gets their head decapitated, because you can't do that in a PG-13 movie, or at least if it's a person. You could do that if it's like a robot, no one cares. But if it's a person, you can't do that. So because it was it was an alien, but still, they didn't show that. But in the book, you get to see that, and that was cool. A lot of that is glossed over. The movie does a far better job because it takes more time on that. The book kind of just flips through that part. So in some aspects, I would not say only watch the movie or only read the book. I would say, and I believe this is what the author Matthew Stover also said about the book, is that it is more of a companion piece. It's not something that you should say is far, because a lot of people crap on the prequels, which I've rewatched them, and they're all honestly not that bad. Not compared to 8 and 9. So, I mean, 8 and 9 are objectively better films, but they're not Star Wars. At least not in my opinion. But they honestly get too much hate. They're not that bad. They're not the greatest movies I've ever seen, but they're not awful either. And 3 is genuinely a good movie. It's like my second or third favorite Star Wars movie. I don't know where yet. Emperor Strikes Back, still number 1. And then it's either New Hope or Revenge of the Sith. But regardless, it's in my top 3. Return of the Jedi is number 4. So there's that. But yeah, I would say watch the movie, read the book. Now, of course, you read the book, it's going to retread some of the stuff that you've already seen. So you may want to gloss over that. I don't know. You may just read the whole thing. I don't know. I read all of it. But it definitely, it is the best novelization of a movie, at least, that I've ever seen, because it just puts more insight, especially with the Yoda fight. I mean, you see like none of it. They gloss over it so quickly. The Yoda versus Emperor Palpatine. But at the end, you get to you listen to what Yoda's saying. He's like, arrogant I was. This whole time I've been training the Jedi, all these 900 years of my life, I've been training the Jedi for the moment that the Sith would return. And I was always fearful of this. And, I thought I was arrogant. I came in here expecting to be able to just completely boss handle, backhand Emperor Palpatine. Because I'm that good. Because I'm that in tune with the good side of the Force that I must be right. But the problem is the Sith had evolved. They'd become different. Stronger. And Yoda realized that staying in the same old ways for all these years, they should have been changing, because so were the enemy. They changed. And because the Jedi had stayed stagnant and stayed the same, that led to their demise. So I thought that was a good addition. Instead of, in the movie where Yoda just says, "Oh, I must go into exile now," he says in the book, "Are you okay? Are you hurt? Have you lost anything?" Bail Organa. And Yoda's just like, "Only my pride. Only my pride. And now I must go into exile," whatever. So, it's a good book. It's a good novelization. A lot of people praise it as like the greatest thing. It's really good, but I don't know. I like the movie too. And it's kind of hard reading it like right after reading the book, or watching the movie, because it's a retread of some stuff. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Though, I mean, if you have the movie, you don't need this. But if you want to get a little bit more insight into people's thoughts and feelings about certain things, then pick it up. It's got slightly different dialogue, though, for certain scenes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Next, we go on to an original story, Kenobi, which I'm, due to the state of Star Wars right now, unless it's handled by the people who handled The Mandalorian, it's the book is probably going to be better than the movie, or than the TV show that they're trying to make. But, whatever. Anyway, I'll see you in that review. Bye.